At the beginning of the story, we see a girl named Tess, who stops her car in front of a very deserted house. Actually, Tess had come to this city for work, and to stay here. Tess had booked this house online through a rental service. Tess takes her luggage and comes near the door of this house. Now, she takes the door password from the website through which she rented this house, and tries to open the door. But despite entering the password, the door does not open, as if someone has locked it from the inside. Seeing this, Tess gets very worried. It was already quite late at night, and on top of that, it was raining heavily, so Tess goes back and sits in her car. Now, just as Tess was about to complain to the online rental service company, suddenly, the lights of that house turn on. Seeing this, Tess is shocked, and she goes back to the door of the house and rings the doorbell. After a while, an unknown man opens the door and asks Tess, "What are you doing here so late at night?" Hearing this, Tess says to him, "Forget about me, tell me what are you doing here?" "Because this house is mine, and I have rented it from an online rental service." The man was also shocked. He said, "But I have also booked this house from a website." To prove his point, the man shows Tess the booking details of this house on his mobile. After seeing all this, Tess says to the man, "All right, this house is yours," and Tess disappointedly starts to leave from there. But just then, the man stops Tess and says, "It is midnight, and it is raining heavily outside, so stay here for tonight, and leave from here as soon as it is morning." Tess also finds the man's point reasonable, and decides to spend the night here. But Tess felt something fishy about the man being so nice. That is why, when the man goes to the washroom, Tess spots his wallet on the table. After that, she quickly takes out the man's ID card to look at it, and from his ID card, we find out that the man's name is Keith. Tess takes a photo of the man's ID card here. She does this so that if the man does anything wrong to her, she will have some proof. After a while, Keith comes out of the washroom and says to Tess, "I know you don't trust me, so I will sleep here on the sofa, and you can go and sleep in my room." Tess also wanted a safe place to sleep, so she agrees, and she goes into the room, locks the door properly, and goes to sleep. After a while, Tess wakes up to a strange sound. After waking up from sleep, she sees that the door of her room is open, even though she had locked the door properly. Tess starts hearing some strange noises from outside, after which Tess comes out of the room in a panic, and we see that the basement door closes on its own. Tess slowly goes near Keith and sees that Keith is sleeping on the sofa. Keith was tossing and turning in his sleep, as if he was having a nightmare. Tess wakes Keith up and asks him, "Did you open my room door?" To which Keith replies, "No, I was fast asleep." Hearing this, Tess goes back to her room, and this time, locks the door properly and goes to sleep. The next morning when Tess wakes up, she sees that Keith is not at home, but he had left a message for Tess on a piece of paper, "I am going out for some work, I will be back by evening." After this, Tess also gets ready and leaves the house for her interview. Seeing the view outside, Tess is shocked, because the entire area outside was deserted, all the houses were broken down. It felt as if no one else lived here except Tess. Seeing all this, Tess feels very strange, but at this time she was getting late for the interview, so Tess doesn't think much about it and reaches the company, where her interview goes quite well. The director is highly impressed by Tess. After the interview is over, the director asks Tess, "Where are you staying in this city?" Tess tells her, "I am staying in a house in the Barbary Street area." Hearing the name Barbary Street, the director gets shocked, and says to Tess in a panicked voice, "That place is not good at all, you get out of that place quickly." Saying this, the director leaves from there, and when Tess comes back home, now Tess also starts feeling scared of that place. Just as Tess opens the door lock and is about to go inside the house, she suddenly sees an unknown man running fast towards her. Seeing this, Tess panics and quickly opens the door and goes inside the house before the man can reach her. The man starts banging on the door loudly, telling Tess to get out of the house. Tess could not understand what was happening. Tess is extremely scared inside the house and tries to complain to the police. After a while, Tess sees that the man has left from there. Now Tess breathes a sigh of relief and goes to the bathroom. But in the bathroom, she sees that the toilet paper is finished. She starts looking for toilet paper here and there in the house, when suddenly her eyes fall towards the basement. She thought maybe the toilet paper was kept in the basement. Thinking this, Tess goes into the basement, and there she finds a box of toilet paper kept right in front of her. Now, just as Tess was returning with the toilet paper, suddenly, the basement door closes. Tess tries to open the door with all her might, but the door does not open. Now Tess gets very disappointed because she had left her phone upstairs. Tess realizes that no one is going to come to help her while she sits here, so she has to do something herself. Now Tess starts looking for a way out of here, and just then her eyes fall on a window meant for light in the basement. She tries to open this window, but that window could only be opened from the outside. Now Tess starts looking for a tool to break the glass of this window. While looking for a tool, Tess sees a rope coming out from inside the wall. Without thinking, Tess starts pulling that rope, and by pulling the rope, a secret room door opens. Now when Tess looks inside this room, she sees nothing inside, because it was pitch black inside this room. Tess now wants to know what exactly is inside this room, but out of fear, she could not go inside. Just then, an idea comes to Tess's mind. Using a large mirror, she reflects the light from the basement lamp into that dark room, where Tess sees a path inside. Now, fearfully, she starts moving forward into the path built inside this room, and there she sees that there is a second room inside. On opening the door of this room, she sees a dirty bed and an old video camera inside. Looking at this room, it felt as if someone's video used to be shot here. Just then, Tessa's eyes fall on the front wall, where a blood-stained handprint was made. Seeing this, Tess gets very scared, and runs away from there, reaching straight to the window that provides light to the basement, where she sees Keith outside the house. Seeing Keith, Tess starts screaming and calling out to him. Luckily, Keith sees her and comes to Tess, where he sees that Tess is trapped inside the basement. Now Keith quickly goes inside the house, opens the basement door, and gets Tess out of there. Now Tess was extremely scared, and she was about to pack her bags and leave this house. But Keith stops her from leaving and asks, what exactly happened? Then Tess tells him about the secret room, the bed, and the camera down in the basement, and says, this place is not good at all, we must leave this place quickly. But despite seeing Tess so panicked, Keith does not believe her words. He says to Tess, I will first go down to the basement myself and check everything there. If there is really any danger there, we will leave from here right now, just wait for me here until then, because if both of us go there and the basement door closes again, we both will be trapped there forever. Saying this much, he goes straight towards the basement. Tess tries hard to stop him, but he ignores Tess and goes into the basement. Now Tess starts waiting for him here. But after a lot of time passes and he doesn't return, Tess goes near the basement and starts calling out to Keith. But there is no response from Keith from the basement. Now, forced by the situation, Tess gathers courage once again and decides to go into the basement. But before going this time, she places a chair in front of the basement door so that the door doesn't lock again. Now, Tess turns on her mobile flashlight and starts looking for Keith, moving forward slowly. But she does not see Keith anywhere. She even reaches the room where the bed and camera were kept, but Keith was not there either. Now Tess gets worried about where Keith suddenly disappeared. She goes further looking for him. After going a little further, she sees some stairs going down, and just then, Tess hears Keith's voice from below, who was calling out for help. Out of fear, Tess does not want to go inside, but due to Keith calling repeatedly, she is forced to go there. After crossing the stairs, a second basement was built below, meaning, a second basement inside the basement. Now here, Tess moves forward calling Keith, when, suddenly Keith, crawling fast on the ground like an animal, comes near Tess. He was very terrified of something. He says to Tess, don't make any noise at all, there is someone else here besides us who wants to kill me, and that thing has bitten me. Now, just as these people are about to leave from here, suddenly a tall woman comes running, catches Keith, and smashes his head repeatedly against the front wall, brutally killing him. Now the scene shifts here, and we are shown a scene 2 weeks later, where we see the owner of this house, whose name is AJ. AJ is a TV actor by profession, but now his life is not going well at all, because the girl who used to work with him in the movie, has accused AJ of doing wrong things with her. Because of this, AJ's career was ruined, and to prove himself innocent, AJ had lost all his money while running around the courts. Now he was left with only this one house on Barbary Street, and now he wanted to sell this house too. As soon as he comes home, he sees that someone's luggage is lying in the house. Actually, this was Tess and Keith's luggage, and outside he also sees Tess's car, seeing which AJ suspects that someone is living in my house secretly. Therefore, he now starts searching the house, but he did not find any human in the house. But just then, his eyes fall on the basement door, where a chair was kept, and this chair was placed by Tess so that the basement door would not lock from inside. Seeing all this, AJ becomes sure that someone is hiding in the basement. When he comes near the basement door, he hears the sound of someone walking below. Seeing this, he takes a flashlight and a knife with him and goes inside the basement, so that if he feels any danger, he can attack with the knife. As soon as he enters the basement, he also sees that secret room, where there was a camera and a bed. He starts exploring his house's basement further, where he also reaches those stairs, and seeing all this, instead of being scared, AJ becomes happy, because he thought that due to so much space in the basement of his house, its price would now double. He immediately takes a measuring tape and starts measuring the basement, and while measuring, he reaches a room where a show was running on the TV, in which it was being shown how a mother breastfeeds her baby. AJ was just watching all this when, suddenly someone pulls the measuring tape from his hand. Seeing this, AJ panics, and shines the flashlight towards the direction from where the measuring tape was pulled. But there was no one there. Just then, he hears someone growling from the front, and after a while, the same tall, strange-looking lady starts moving towards him. Seeing her, he starts running away out of fear, and while running, he suddenly falls into a pit. As soon as he falls into the pit, that woman shuts the iron grate from above, leaving AJ imprisoned there. AJ could not understand what was happening, and just then a girl comes in front of him. This girl was none other than Tess, who had been trapped in the same pit for the last 2 weeks. AJ was very scared, then Tess comforts him and says, "Don't make any noise at all, otherwise that lady will get angry. If you want to stay alive, you will have to do whatever that lady says, otherwise she will kill you." After a while, the same lady comes there, and she extends a milk bottle from above towards Tess. Without thinking, Tess starts drinking milk from that bottle like a little child. After this, the lady extends the milk bottle towards AJ, but AJ refuses to drink the milk. Tess explains to him, "Don't do this, just quietly drink the milk." Tess says to AJ, "This lady just wants us to behave like her baby," but AJ still refuses to drink the milk. Seeing this, the lady gets angry and comes down into the pit. She first hugs Tess lovingly like a good child, and then she looks at AJ with anger. It's after this, she drags AJ along with her. She brings AJ to the same room where the program was running on TV, showing how a mother breastfeeds her baby. That lady also forcibly breastfeeds AJ in the same way. On the other hand, when that lady was dragging AJ here, she had not closed the door of that pit, and taking advantage of this opportunity, Tess comes out of the pit and starts running away from there. But then, by mistake, her foot hits the measuring tape, the sound of which the lady hears, and she realizes that Tess is trying to run away from here. Now that lady leaves AJ right there and starts chasing Tess. Tess runs fast and reaches the basement door upstream, but the basement door was locked. Tess tries to open the door with all her might, but when the door does not open, she runs and breaks the glass of the basement window and tries to get out from there. During this, that lady had come quite close to Tess, but before the lady could catch Tess, just then a man comes from outside and pulls Tess outwards. If that man had been even a second late, Tess would have lost her life, because that lady reaches there as soon as Tess gets out. Now, the man who saved Tess's life was none other than the same man, who was stopping Tess from going inside this house in the beginning. Now Tess explains to the man that, a very horrific lady lives in this house, but that man already knew about that lady. Now the man says to Tess, "Get away from this city as soon as possible, otherwise that lady will find you and keep you with her for the rest of your life." But Tess says to him, "Another man is also trapped inside, who needs my help." Then the man says to Tess, "Be thankful that your life was saved, take my advice and leave from here as soon as possible, because as soon as it is night, that lady will come out looking for you. If you stay around this area, that lady will catch you somehow, and then imprison you with her forever." After which the man says to Tess, "My job was to explain to you, whether you save yourself or not is your choice." Now Tess wanted to leave from there, but Tess was a kind-hearted person, so she could not leave AJ alone with that lady. After which, Tess leaves in search of help. On the other hand, getting a chance, AJ also tries to get out of that place, but just then he hears the growling sound of that woman. Hearing this, AJ gets very scared, and now to hide from that lady, he starts going further inside the tunnel. Then that lady was also chasing AJ. Moving forward, AJ reaches a place where the path ends. Now AJ was badly trapped, and that woman was standing right in front of him. AJ felt that, now his death was certain, but then, for some unknown reason, the lady hesitates to come forward, and leaving AJ right there, she quietly goes away. God knows what it was that even that lady was afraid of. When AJ looks back, he sees a door behind him. Now he goes inside that room to see what exactly is in this room that even that lady is afraid to come here. The room was in a very bad condition, with all the things scattered here and there. A TV was also running in this room. AJ was just searching the room when, suddenly he hears someone's voice from behind. Out of fear, when AJ turns back and shines the flashlight, an old man was lying on the bed, who looked very sick, neither in a condition to get up nor to speak properly. AJ felt that maybe that lady had imprisoned this man too, so AJ starts helping him. But that man was repeatedly pointing towards a drawer. Then AJ, without thinking, brings the drawer close to him, and in that room, AJ sees a lot of recorded tapes, with a woman's name written on each tape. As soon as AJ plays it, he is shocked. In that tape, the same old man is seen doing wrong things with a woman. Seeing this, AJ's eyes are left wide open, and as soon as AJ turns back to look at the old man was taking out a gun from the drawer. AJ felt that now he was dead, but the very next moment, the old man shoots himself. On the other hand, Tess reaches outside the house with police officers. Tess explains the whole situation to them about what is going on in this house, but the policemen do not believe Tess, because seeing Tess's old clothes and her condition, they feel that Tess has taken some drugs. Therefore, the police ignore Tess and leave. Seeing this, Tess gets even more worried. Now Tess realizes that she has to do something herself. It was going to be night soon, so Tess acts wisely and goes and sits in her car, because she knew that now that lady would come out to look for her, and that's exactly what happens. As soon as it gets dark, that lady comes out of the house looking for Tess. Now, before the lady could see Tess in the car, Tess immediately starts the car, and at full speed, hits the lady, pinning her against the front wall. Because of this, the lady could neither go back nor forward, she gets trapped right there, and after a short while, the lady becomes unconscious. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Tess quickly goes into the basement to save AJ and starts looking for him. Meanwhile, AJ also picks up the gun, with which the old man had shot himself, and tries to get out. Because of the darkness, AJ could not see anything, and just then he sees someone coming towards him from the front. Out of fear, AJ shoots them. When AJ reaches them, he sees that it was Tess. Luckily, the bullet had just grazed Tess's stomach, so her life is saved. Now AJ, supporting Tess, brings her out of the house. As soon as she comes out, Tess sees that the lady whom she had hit with the car and pinned to the wall a little while ago, had disappeared from there. Because of the collision, Tess's car was also damaged, so they could not even escape by sitting in the car. Now they start running away from there on foot. After going a little further, they find the unknown man, who gestures to them to come quietly to him, and the man brings them both near a water tank. The man says, "That lady cannot come to this place." Then AJ asks the man, "Who is that lady, and what is she doing in my house?" Then the man tells them, "That lady has been living in this house for the last 40 years, and this house belongs to her dad." Then AJ says, "How can this be, this house is mine?" To which the man replies, "According to the documents, this house is yours, you must have bought it a few years ago. But, the first owner of this house was a man named Frank, and that lady is Frank's daughter. Frank was an extremely brutal man, who used to kidnap other women, bring them to the basement of this house and tie them up, and then do wrong things with them to father children. If a boy was born, he would kill him, and if it was a girl, he would keep her in captivity and raise her, and then do wrong things with his own daughter as well. Most of Frank's offspring used to be weak, because of which most of his daughters died. But among them, this one lady is still alive today, and this lady is the punishment for Frank's sins." The man tells them, after living in pitch darkness for 40 years, now that lady cannot tolerate much light, that's why she comes out at night. The man says to them both, "You have no danger to your life from that lady, she considers you her children, that's why she won't kill you, but will keep you imprisoned with her forever." Hearing all the words of the man, AJ understands that the old man who had shot himself in the tunnel was Frank. While their conversation was still going on, suddenly, breaking through the wall from behind, that lady comes to them, grabs the man by the neck, and then brutally kills him. Out of fear, AJ leaves Tess in that injured condition and runs away from there. Tess also starts running after AJ in her injured condition. Tess constantly calls out to AJ for help, but AJ ignores Tess and runs fast, climbing up a water tank. Tess also somehow reaches the top of the tank, staggering. Both of them see that the lady is also coming behind them. Now AJ takes out his gun to kill the lady, but just then the gun slips from his hand and falls down. After a short while, the woman also climbs on top of the tank. Now AJ realized that, this lady considers me and Tess as her children, and now she will catch us and imprison us with her forever. AJ could not spend his entire life in that pitch-dark basement, so AJ takes advantage of the lady's maternal instinct, grabs Tess, and throws her down from the top of the tank. The lady considered Tess her daughter, so she jumps after her to save Tess. When AJ peeks down, he sees that, the lady, without caring for her own life to save Tess, takes her in her lap so that Tess does not suffer any harm while falling down. Because if Tess had fallen straight down, she could have died. After which AJ comes down and sees that, both are lying covered in blood and both are not moving at all. AJ feels that both are dead, but just then Tess regains consciousness. Tess sees that the lady saved her life by giving her own life. After this, AJ supports Tess and lifts her up, and starts justifying himself, if I hadn't done this, we both would have been killed. But now Tess understands that, no matter how hard AJ tries to act good, he can leave someone else to die just to save his own life. Just then, the lady also stands up from behind, grabs AJ, and chokes his throat. She was extremely angry because AJ had thrown her daughter down. After this, the lady first gouges out AJ's eyes, and then rips his head into 2 pieces. After this, she looks at Tess with sad eyes like a mother, and starts showing affection to Tess. But Tess was still scared of that lady, so the lady also realizes that, I could not live among humans in this world. Humans are scared of this scary face and horrific form of mine, so humans will never accept me. Therefore, she gestures to Tess, kill me. Now Tess did not want to kill her, but that woman wanted her life to end. Therefore, Tess shoots her, giving her freedom from that horrific life, and with this, the story ends. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and make sure to like the video.